Another quality is asked to stretch away from them. One Ianza Lynx in the red, the closest pursuer. A London Spirit now shaken up and running in between the horses. El Capitan in the blue racing out wide, but it's another quality. And the champion jockey, Radish Roman, that's the one they have to catch. As they approach the final furlong, another quality drifting off a true line. Here is a London Spirit and one Ianza Lynx now coming with their late kicks. And now London Spirit picks up the lead. One Ianza Lynx racing back against the rail. Continuing to race out wide, that's another quality, but it's London Spirit and Robert Halladine. They ramped the first by 4 or more. One Ianza Lynx is second, another quality is third. Red 32 is fourth, possibly fifth on the rail. Barbecue running on late. Pappy down on the rail, Rockola right alongside. These two making eye contact. Here is Amazing Force now shaken up and beginning to cut into that lead. Solace and the Soul Warrior race next, and now Successful Man begins to make very late progress. Rockola kept to the outside. Pappy down on the rail. Just in between horses, finding racing room. That is Amazing Force and Ian Dolly Baby Spence. They arrive at the furlong pole. Amazing Force maybe going just the better. Rockola on the outside continues to fight on. Pappy down is on the rail. Successful Man coming with a late rush, but it is Amazing Force and Ian Spence poaching a 3-length lead or more. They win it tight. Rockola maybe just over Successful Man. Pappy Don is back in fourth. Rum With Me has already taken charge up front. Rum With Me under a vigorous ride. Curlin's Flight is put to the stick under the stands, but still needs to find a lot to get to this leader. As they run away now toward the final furlong, it is a Rum With Me in charge under Babito Harvey. Rum With Me looking for a third straight win, and there's nothing that's going to stop him from having it. Rum With Me comes away romping the third event by maybe 6 or more over Curlin's Flight second. Dodge Its Link is third. Air of Fire is fourth. Talona against the stand fence has the overall advantage. Posing already getting cracks of the stick and asked to get to that leader. Dream to Reality waver on the far side. Design Diva now asked to get going by the rider and begins to make progress. But it is Talona. Here is Design Diva kicking in with Uncaptured Empress and Dream to Reality. Dream to Reality on the far side. In between horses, Uncaptured Empress. Design Diva in behind them. Uncaptured Empress gets there ahead of Dream to Reality. Then Design Diva. Lucy in the Sky. Talona backing out is fifth. Oh my gosh, now beginning to drift toward the center, but holding on to the advantage. Blinding Light and God of Thunder now asked to close the gap, but it's oh my gosh, flashing past the furlong pole with that lead. God of Thunder needs to find 3, maybe more. Blinding Light is further back and holding on for third, but it's oh my gosh. And the apprentice Demar Williams running away from them in the end to win by maybe 3.5 or 4 over God of Thunder. Then Blinding Light, Planner, D-Bay Machine is back in fifth. As the field have turned for home, Spragga, they've got to catch Spragga, holding on to that advantage. Golden Lawyer now coming with a charge toward the outside. Watch Chesney now in full flight, but it is Spragga against the rail responding to the left-hand stick. Golden Lawyer trying to close up toward the outside of horses. That is Chesney, but they drive inside. The final 16th, it is Spragga being driven to the max, holding on to that lead under Shaheem Gordon. Spragga driving to the line. Spragga gets there over Chesney, then Golden Lawyer, Bubbling Brown Sugar close between Don't Tell Lulu and Town Star flashing by together. Brahma Bull attempting to go all the way, but now being driven out. Cut out in behind them, switch toward the rail. Here is Pretty Brown Ting kicking in on the outside. Brahma Bull looks to be giving way. Pretty Brown Ting now snatches the lead. Here on the rail, coming from nowhere, that is a lockdown under the left-hand stick. They drive inside the furlong. It is Pretty Brown Ting, a lockdown, and Brahma Bull rubbing shoulders inside the final 16th. Pretty Brown Ting with that lead. Lockdown trying to gather in the leader, but Pretty Brown Ting too tough. They can't stop Pretty Brown Ting, winning by almost 2. Lockdown is second. Brahma Bull is third. Joyful Surprise is fourth. Hail the Queen, a narrow leader. My Sunshine attacking all the time. Bushfire is just 3 lengths in behind them. Galloper has made progress. Battle Angel is left down against the rail, but they're into the top of the lane, and it is Hail the Queen from My Sunshine. Bushfire now asked to close up on the rail. Galloper running on the spot at the moment, and still Hail the Queen holds the advantage. My Sunshine now beginning to close with a flourish down against the rail, but it is Hail the Queen holding on to the lead inside the final 16th. Hail the Queen under the pump from Christopher Mamdine. They're not going to catch Hail the Queen. He's down in the end to win by maybe 3 over My Sunshine. Princess Catalia third. Galroy is fourth. Five furlongs straight ahead of them. They're off. Money Market breaks coming toward us. Mac and Rome is also running toward this near side. Mighty Gully in the red cap racing up in the center of things. Zulu Warrior is showing good early pace as they've covered the first furlong and make their way toward the top of the chute. Mac and Rome, Mighty Gully in between horses. Zulu Warrior there toward the middle of the track. Of a Revolution is racing near the stands. Just in behind him, that's a Money Market. Blue Vinyl has to do a lot more running along with Atlantic Convoy. Mighty Gully toward the center of the course, possibly just the overall leader as they make their way toward the final furlong. It is Mighty Gully cutting out the fractions. Zulu Warrior just toward his inside. Mac and Rome racing in behind them. Money Market is under the stand fence, and Of a Revolution asked to close up Mighty Gully. Watch Money Market closing with a flourish under the stand fence, and Money Market goes on to win it. Could be Mighty Gully second, just over Of a Revolution. Then Zulu Warrior back in fourth. As they come dashing into the top of the lane, Rani Bangala and a Whiskey mixing it up. It's Rani Bangala just. Whiskey is right there. The head cornerstone now Satellite and asked to close up. Jameson ability race out wide of horses. Whiskey begins to make ground on the rail, but Whiskey may just have the lead. Rani Bangala continues the fight. Rani Bangala goes on once again. Here now is Whiskey flashing home against the rail. It is Rani Bangala. Whiskey gobbling him up, and Whiskey goes on to beat Rani Bangala, Sunny T and Chippy James. Whiskey is back in fifth.